Welcome to another episode of the AniMoguls. I'm the monkey-obsessed Megabucks.
And I'm the tropical thunderstorm Tycoon.
On today's episode of Disney Showdowns, Tarzan steps into the ring to face off against Clayton. Kinda like Freddy versus Jason, minus the chainsaw and hockey mask.
Exactly. Now, before we start the showdown, I have to ask, does Clayton even have a first name? I mean, Jane and her dad always call him Mr. Clayton, so we know that Clayton is his last name and not his first.
Yeah, I really wish that Jane and her dad hadn't been so polite all the time, because then we would actually know Clayton's first name. I mean, he's not a rock star. He's not Cher or Madonna, so he needs a first name to go with his last one. It's weird, because he's like the opposite of the Queen of England, who has a first name but not a last one. The whole situation is pretty confusing.
I don't get it though. Why don't they just give him a first name? Archimedes Q. Porter hired Clayton for his expedition, so that makes him Clayton's employer. He could have dropped in Clayton's first name once or twice during casual conversation. He could have said, "Put the gun down, Thomas. You'll scare the gorillas with your fishmongering and lollygagging. Fetch me my tea, please, and don't forget the macaroons."
It's funny, because Clayton seems to have an upper-class English accent, and we all know that English nobles always have at least one name, followed by 4 or 5 middle names. And yet, here's Clayton with a blank space on his birth certificate. I guess it wasn't a problem back in the day, because you didn't need ID to register your gun.
Call me old-fashioned, but I don't like calling him by his last name. It feels too formal.
I get that this is really bothering you, Tycoon, so I even looked it up. But I can't find any sources that definitively give us Clayton's real name. But if we go back to the source material, which in this case is the original novel that the Disney movie is based on, Clayton's full name is actually William Cecil Clayton. And he happens to be Tarzan's biological cousin. So that would make Clayton Tarzan's last name, which is pretty weird if you ask me.
I guess that's why Tarzan and William Cecil weren't cousins in the Disney movie. It's interesting, because Tarzan and Clayton were pretty evenly matched in terms of build. It wasn't like one was this ginormous beast and the other was a tiny little squirrel.
Tarzan physically, of course, was the more impressive specimen. Sure, Clayton was bulkier, but he's just a beefcake. Now Tarzan, he's all muscle. He has killer upper body strength after swinging from tree to tree for 18 years. Clayton grew up on the jungle gym? That's cute. But Tarzan grew up in the trees in the frickin' jungle.
And Tarzan is also an excellent swimmer, so he's a threat on land and water.
And not only is he ripped, he has dreads, which are obviously awesome. And Tarzan knows how to camouflage in the forest. Clayton doesn't seem to know much about that, because he wears a bright red cravat, which totally gives him away.
One thing that Tarzan lacked, though, was good posture. And he didn't have a rifle.
Luckily, posture doesn't really give Clayton the edge. But the rifle evened the odds for sure. But that doesn't faze Tarzan. I mean, he's amused by the funny sounds the gun makes, but it doesn't intimidate him at all. Pocahontas' people were a lot smarter. When they learned that white people have guns that smoke fire, they knew they were in big trouble. But poor Tarzan, he was raised by apes, so he doesn't take it seriously.
Yeah, Tarzan's like, what the hell is that thing? Where can I get one? I guess he's not scared, because he's got the whole gorilla crew behind him, except for his dad.
Kerchak's a straight-up G. Literally, because he's a gorilla.
And Tarzan wants to believe that he's one too, until he finds out that he's not, and then he wants to be a human. Then he gets the urge to dress up in a tux like his biological dad.
See, Tarzan is the classic second-generation immigrant kid, because no one will let him forget his past. He grew up in this country. He speaks the language. He acts, talks, and thinks just like the gorilla he was raised to be. He's trying to live in the present. He's trying to fit in. But because he looks different, he's never going to be gorilla enough for them. And then, when he wants to know about his past, when he tries to embrace his roots, everyone says, "Hey, we thought you were one of us. Stop acting so foreign, Tarzan." So it's a lose-lose situation for him.
And Clayton definitely doesn't accept Tarzan as a human, because Tarzan can't really speak English fluently. He's slowly learning how to construct complex sentences. Unlike Pocahontas, who has a knack for languages, it's a lot more difficult for Tarzan to learn how to speak English. He has to learn word by word. Even at the end of the movie, he only knew rudimentary English. He couldn't carry on a full-on conversation.
Pocahontas, on the other hand, was totally fluent by the end of her own movie. And the cool thing is that she taught everyone else, because Powhatan's also speaking to John Smith in complete English. They all understood each other. The Englishmen thought the natives were dumb savages, but clearly they were wrong, because the entire village learned the language in a matter of days.
I think Clayton definitely deserved to lose to Tarzan, though. He only had one rifle left by the end, and then he dropped it when he saw Tarzan's team show up. Once Tarzan and company got off that ship and freed the apes, it was game over after that. But Clayton, he wasn't gracious in defeat. He was a sore loser.
I think Clayton feared the rise of the Planet of the Apes. He probably read the novel during his downtime on the ship, while they were traveling to Africa. And the more he read, the more terrified he became. I mean, he feared the apes. He wanted them all to die.
'Cause he knows what happens. I mean, if you've seen the latest ape movie, the humans have been backed into a corner and the apes are ruling the world. They're slowly educating themselves, getting to know their ABCs, just like Tarzan was doing. The sad thing is that Tarzan was actually human, so he should already know how to do this stuff. But yeah, the apes are gonna dominate.
Clayton was just looking out for his species, which we can't really blame him for. Unfortunately, he didn't go about it the right way. Tarzan, on the other hand, he was backed into this corner. He was trapped in this huge metal ship. But he got out. He took back his city like he was Batman and Clayton was the Joker. So Tarzan wins. He basically dominated this round because it was his home turf.
That brings us to the end of another Disney Showdown. Hungry for more? Check out our Frozen Showdown. Anna and Elsa versus Hans. Keep watching the AniMoguls.